talking this whole time. Hi, welcome YouTube. So YouTube's trashed. This is the Tome of Adventure. Oh god, Tome of Adventure design. This just got a new edition remade. The Kickstarter physicals, I believe, are just beginning to ship or will be shipping soon. The PDF, I believe, is now on drive-thru and some other places. Let me see if I can load that up on the website for you real quick. And we got Tome of Adventure Design. Yeah, that's this. If you're looking for it currently, that's what it looks like. I think you can pre-order the physicals. This was much more popular, I believe, than Matt Finch anticipated, and so it's the physicals might be sold out of this edition. You might still be able to get the edition that I have. He has added some content to the new one. But yeah, I can't recommend Tome of Adventure Design high enough for folks who are looking for this kind of stuff. I've used it a bunch. I've never had duplicates. I've never had it rolled the same thing 2 times in a row. So we got our former cult member who was partially turned into a vermin. That's number 4. Number 8 is a singular, really strong enemy, and I think that kind of works as it's the guard for the converted guy. I can see that the vermin would really not want a partially converted human that is privy to some of their secrets. Let me move you guys back. It's privy to some of their secrets. Running loose and heading to the surface. Nine is a whole cluster of weak. So we're doing verminis, the little vermin minions. That could kind of be anywhere. So that's floating around. We'll see where that goes. Number 5 is downward stairs that end like a fake to a secret. What about down here? And there'd be some kind of a secret passage. Let me turn this on. Make some kind of weird secret passage like that. That gives you some kind of back access. Maybe even more like this. Yeah, maybe even more like that. So then we can go in here and mess around with this a little bit. We can extend. We can extend this thing down a little bit. Perfect. Turn that layer off. Clean that up a little. So we're saying that kind of comes down and then just ends. So I'm going to get my little stair tool. My little stair tool. What's going on here? Oh. That's why. Alright. I don't think I made it any easier. I think I made this a little bit more of a mess. What's up, GM Jordan? This live, the YouTube rebroadcast of this is going to be messed up. We are now almost an hour in, and I just realized I didn't turn my cameras and stuff on. Folks didn't really miss a whole lot on YouTube. If you're just joining us there, we're using dungeonscrawl.com to build a map for the little adventure outline that we did yesterday. Building a little sewer full of rat dudes. Building a little plague shrine that's supposed to be a source of poison for the area. Alright, so we got stairs that go into nothing. So then we got like our little secret, which takes us back to the shrine room with the brood queen. Right? Number 5. Perfect. And we got a guard. Let's see, number 9 is all the verminis. Let's see. What if we just make this like a whole like little room that you kind of gotta go through. Maybe we'll put some kind of like pillars or something, but it's something like that. Let's just clean this up a little bit. And we can do little doors, be fancy and nice. Because we're, you know, fancy and nice kind of people. Perfect-ish. Cool, so we got a little spiral staircase that gets us down. Gas trap all the way off by itself. We might cut, I don't know. That might be one of these empty rooms. This guy right here, number 1. Maybe not. Maybe not. You always gotta like think of the flow. And in a 10-room dungeon, there's like not a whole lot of ways you can make it non-linear. You know, there's only like 10 rooms. In a mega dungeon, then it becomes more important to have all kinds of back ways and shortcuts and that sort of stuff. A little bit of it is really all you can get by with something like in a 10-room dungeon. That's sort of the limitation to the 5-room dungeon. 5-room dungeon, I think, works better as like a theater of the mind mental exercise, maybe, in that you're trying to hit the like 5 plot points of a dungeon. It's kind of more paced that way than this 10-room dungeon that I'm using, which is like 10 interesting like character interactions, like 10 set pieces. Brute, something that tells the dungeon history. Do I have things roughly where I want them? For minis, 5 is stairs that end. That's this guy. Cast that burns. I mean, we could do it all the way off to this thing. If I remember right, the prompt that gave us gas that burns as a trap had it reducing, like, your charisma. Burns your skin off. What's the from the Dritz novels? What's the? Is it? I want to say Fist of Daedalus, but I'm pretty sure that's the evil wizard / Raceland. Spoiler alert of the Dragonlance novels. Yeah, I finally have YouTube. I finally have YouTube working, so you can actually see something there. The first 45 minutes is black. Make sure. Yeah, I got mic's working. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us. Tante Fruitstall? If I butchered that pronunciation, I apologize. And if you go to scroll back through my TikToks, you'll see a lot of similar kind of content. I talk about different books, different making stuff, that sort of thing, pretty regularly. I try to post some time lapses, which from what you're looking at looks like would be boring as hell, but I edit the hell out of them, so you don't have all the time period where I'm just staring into space, wondering what the hell to do, feeling lost. Something useful. We should define what the hell that actually is. Something useful. This is where, like, I know what I'm thinking of. I just don't really have a good resource to reach out and grab and look it up. If anybody's watching that has any ideas for a useful thing to be down here in the sewer, by all means. By all means. We'll just keep moving. Something useful. That's what... Okay. So if the Brood Queen is here... Do we really want... Maybe we really want the shrine to be like the central room of this little complex of rooms down here. Oh, that would be Dutch, I believe. If I'm guessing right from your YouTube name. Which, as a English speaker, is one of the weirder... There's a lot of vowel substitutions, I believe. When I just try to, like, phonetically read it in English. I try. I'm a little lefty redneck in rural Pennsylvania. Yeah, and I live in an area with a really high... They call them Pennsylvania Dutch, but it's actually old Germans. But, yeah, a lot of, like, really, really strange... For most people, like, rough to pronounce. Like, there's a beer company in this area called Yingling. And you'd think from the word Yingling it would be, like, 8 letters, but it's, like, 17. See, I try. I try. And yeah, my name Duvelman throws people off too. People look at that word and go, I don't even know how to approach pronouncing that. It's kind of based on the beer. It's like a Flemish. It's like a Flemish dialect term for the devil. So it's kind of like duvelmandice. So I feel you. Alright, well, we're just gonna stick those for the queen. Let's... I think it goes... I think the queen goes in one of these. I kind of like having the idea that there's some secrets. There's like ways of... Maybe we do it here so that there's the most possible ways of avoiding her. And still being able to deal with the... problem. So this is kind of where I start thinking about the layout of an adventure in terms of sharing with the public versus my home group. If I had... I'm currently... I haven't GM'd in a little bit. If I had a home group, I would have a better sense of, like... if they're kind of more, like, heading right to the danger. Or if they want a bunch of ways of being sneaky. So yeah. Somewhere in there. We could even... I might even, like, chop off one of these rooms. Yeah, and my real last name is Duval. Duval, so we're... And I can trace that family line back to the extreme western side of France in the, like, 1200s. So, kind of. Kind of in, you know... Some of the families from that area, at least. Both sides of my family tree stretch back, in America at least, to before it was states, when it was still colonies. I'm sure there's, in one side of the family in particular, I'm sure there's lots of uncomfortable history to uncover. The joys of living in a colonial country, you know. So I think... So number one is a gas that burns trap. And that's up here kind of all by itself. We got a ceiling drop trap, kind of protecting. And the ceiling drop trap we established in the notes the first day that it is specifically designed so that the smaller Ratman minions can get through. So maybe... Well, we have these a couple different places. Huh. Maybe it's... Maybe these are combined here. Yeah, so maybe we put the rat minions, which is number 9, in the central location, and then we have... I can clean this room. This makes it more of like a... just a hallway. Maybe we bust it out a little wide where it's like a gallery, where there's like little cubby holes. Yeah, once we get into this, I will go back through and make these all touch nice and make little doors and that sort of stuff. The way that this program works is you just kind of cut shapes. And when I was laying out the initial rooms, I wasn't being real careful about making sure they, like, touch. Yeah, so I specifically, like, this, underneath 5, like this little curved section down here towards the bottom, is specifically meant to be a secret room, but everything else is supposed to be connected. I just didn't draw the little doors. Like, there should be... That should be going on, and that should be going on, and there should be a connector here, and maybe something like there. Yeah, cool. So it's laid out a little bit more like that. And these rooms are connected. Yeah, so maybe I go in here. We trim these guys down. And we can leave the walls a little wonky. I think there's a way we can go in and mess with how that looks. I think there's a way I can go in and like carve that into a better shape versus kind of blocky. More like this this room down here at the bottom is. Yeah, is everything kind of... And we can go, I'll go through and we can... Some of these will be arches and some of these will be like regular doors. But that should get everything all situated. Let's finally get rid of... Because we have been tracing over this map, essentially. No interacting with the image layer. Nope, that is the opposite. There we go. Okay. So we got... And we can start putting the little doohickeys in. Let's get a... doohickeys, and this is room numbers doohickeys. What kind of systems do you like to play? I don't know if you were here when I was talking about it earlier. I'm kind of into the OSR, or the like new, so like the old school Revolution or like the new school Revolution for some of like the newer stuff that's coming out. So things like old school Essentials. I really, really, really love Cairn and its hacks and derivatives. Oh, yeah, we could do something useful. We got the key to secret. And maybe not even a... maybe it's not a key. Maybe it's a map that shows the secret passage. With like some like little rat scrawled instructions about how to, you know, it's the third stone from the left or whatever. Alright, so that's number 6, so that's all over here. Oh, right on. Well, that's no problem. Yeah, so I got into D&D back in the 90s. I think my first box set was it was like a starter box called First Quest that came with like an audio CD that you played like through parts of the adventures, these little like vignettes. And the voice of the big bad evil guy in one of them was Macho Man Randy Savage. They're like, "Oh yeah, snap into a Slim Jim." Like that guy. Yeah, he was the voice of one of the big bads. But when third edition came out, it was about the time when I in high school was like, girls and parties kind of became more important than hanging out with the friends. And then during the COVID pandemic, my brother reached out and was like, "Hey, some of my friends are playing Magic the Gathering online using some proxy sites for free. Do you want to play with us?" And that turned into playing some D&D, played some 5th edition, and I was like, "This is cool," but like the vibe of the older games was slightly more like an Indiana Jones or like survival kind of a thing than D&D, which was more like epic adventures and that sort of stuff. And when I started looking for things, that's when I found this kind of weird indie side of stuff. But yeah, that's cool, man. I love this stuff. I tried to get a group together right about the time 5th edition came out. I tried to get a group together. I was a cook and a bartender at the time, and so whenever I had the time off, nobody else was, and it was hard to like have a campaign that plays time started at 3 o'clock in the morning when I got off work. So, but yeah, I have the 5th edition core books. I have Pathfinder starter box. I have the Pathfinder 2 core rules over there. But yeah, then a bunch of random stuff. Yeah, and even like Lord of the Rings isn't quite... 5th edition is almost more like fantasy superheroes. If that makes sense, where you're blasting lightning bolts out of your hands all the time and, you know, doing like attacks that would destroy a real life tank as a fighter, you know, that sort of stuff. Whereas some of the old school things are, even if you are fairly high level, you know, going toe to toe and taking a bunch of like sword strikes to the face, it only takes a few of those. You know, I think even at like maximum level in Old School Essentials, which is based on the basic set from the 80s, if you watch Stranger Things, it's the actual like version those kids are playing. That's more like you almost get dealt damage as much as like your hit points. You know, I think you have like maybe a fighter has like 6. Let's see, I'll check real quick. I think a fighter has like 6 hit die, so it's not very much. Fighter maximum. Oh no, you do have 9, but yeah, 9 times 8. You roll a d8 9 times. That's all the hit points you have as a maxed out fighter in Old School Essentials. But if you're thinking about something, like I would look at something like Cairn, or if you're familiar with the Questing Beast YouTube channel, he has a game called Knave that I really like. That was my first non 5th edition game that I played recently. Back in the 90s, I played all kinds of Vampire and all the World of Darkness stuff. Played a little bit of, and all the Palladium. There was like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and some like crazy sci-fi stuff that we played. Kind of played a little bit of everything. Yeah, so I was interested in playing RPGs again right about the time 5th edition came out, and I actually found a YouTube channel called Saving Throw that a bunch of the kind of Critical Role adjacent people are from. Like, what is it? Amy Vorpal is from there. There's a redheaded dude. I can't think of... I can see his face. Anyways, there's a couple of people from there, from Saving Throw show, who have wandered over to the Geek and Sundry kind of thing. But anyway, they were doing Pathfinder tutorials. And then I found, like, Matt Colville and all that kind of stuff. But there's a questing beast. Brennan has his own thing too, but it's not Brennan. It's is it somebody Van Dyke? Anyways, tomorrow night I will wake up in a cold sweat and remember what that guy's name is. Yeah, Dimension. I love Brennan Lee Mulligan. Yeah, Dimension 20 is amazing. And Brendan as a human being just seems like 10 out of 10. Like, celebrity worship like that kind of makes me a little uncomfortable, and as a person who's, like, met a couple heroes and haven't gone over poorly, but yeah, Brendan seems like, it seems like he really is the person that you see. Yeah, and like I said, the Questing Beast YouTube channel is just... He does a lot of little reviews of, like, the independent games. And he's a school teacher, so a lot of his stuff he wrote intended to, like... I think he's, like, a 5th grade teacher for, like, 5th graders to pick up and learn and play and run on their own in his, I think he's, like, a D&D club, either during class or after school or something like that. Oh, yeah, I think... Yeah, especially by now, my computer is probably crying in agony. But we're probably wrapped up. I got the basic outline for it. I have all the rooms laid out. I have kind of where I want things to be, roughly. If this was for me, I'd probably spend a lot of times then going in with these rooms and looking at a lot of these little icons and making sure that I put little things in, not like filling these rooms, but just enough so I know what the vibe is of what's going on. Like, in these free ones, I don't see any kind of like throne, but I believe in some of these other ones. Like, we got some, like dirt piles and gold piles and sarcophaguses and sewer grates. Like, here we go. We got like these statue buds right here. These particular ones aren't commercial use, so I'll have to remove them because I'm planning on putting this up for the public eventually. But, you go in and you drop a couple of these little guys in here. If you have a section with a pit trap, you can go in and drop that. And since we kind of have the, plague rat theme going on, throw a little bit of this. Set it to multiply so we don't have that really awful white background. Get this out of the way. I still don't have a good throne. these are all in color. Oh, that's cool. They're all from 2 Minute Tabletop. Oh, that's a good, if you want good, like, live streams to just watch as somebody, like, draws and stuff. I love 2 Minute Tabletop. I guess Thrones. Thrones just not a thing anybody thinks you need as an icon. I guess I'm just 0 for 0. Anyways, that's what I would do. I would go back through each of these things. You know, trap, gas that burns. I might put some like grates in the floor. Just some little thing that so that at a glance I can look at and be like, oh yeah, that's right. That's where the prisoner is, or oh yeah, that's right. That's where this little thing is. Or you could just, you know, use the one that we made. It's already got the little, you know, if you look, he's got all his little, like, doodads. The other thing that you could do is you get this looking the way that you want, and then you export as a PDF, or I'm sorry, you export as a as an image, and then you throw it in something like Photoshop. So like free alternatives would be GIMP or Canva or Photopea. I mean, there's a billion things. I use the Affinity Suite a lot. That's a really good kind of midpoint between some of the free and open source solutions, which might have less polished UIs, and you know, it's just a little bit more fiddly, a little bit more engineer led than anything else. Anyways, Affinity Suite's good. But I'm gonna wrap things up here, guys. This has been a lot of fun. Yes, the live stream video description should have the link to the blog post. It should have a link to Dungeon Scrawl, the program that I'm using. It should have a link to the What About thing, and then I will make sure I add a link to my card, and then on my card I will put there's a link to like the Google Doc that I'm using. I will export any image files, and I'll throw all that sort of stuff so that everybody can get it. And then here in chat, just really quick, that would be dungeonscrawl.com. That would be what about itch.io for the generators. And that would be duvelmandice.card with 2 R's .co. And of course, YouTube's comments are not going to let any of those be clickable links. But yeah, like I said, in the video description, I will put all that stuff in there if it's not already. I tried to set that up before stream, but anybody who was watching the 45 minutes of dead air on YouTube, you know, I got issues. But this has been a lot of fun. Thanks for everybody for joining me. What's up, all of my my new friends? I will be doing this maybe tomorrow, if not tomorrow, Friday, about the same time. That's 2 p.m. my local time. I think I'm currently -5 UTC. Maybe it's -4 UTC, but I'm New York time. Anyway, this has been a lot of fun. I will see everybody later. See ya, YouTube.